Good.
Got the go.
Got the go.
Okay, welcome everybody. We're going to go on a really exciting journey today. Something interesting and different. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
I'm excited.
Excited?
Yeah. I'd love to know.
Oh, that's a good attitude.
I'm excited.
I'd love to know.
Aren't I talking loud enough?
No, I just want to make sure it's good. That's it. Yeah.
That's a good attitude to have.
Yeah.
So how are you feeling about doing another study?
Fine.
There's no better place to be.
Yeah?
Yeah. Love it.
Is there any apprehension?
No.
None.
No.
What if the sword comes?
Just another
So
day.
be it.
Just another
Hey?
day.
So be it.
I thought you said I'll eat it.
Just another Friday, really? With the sword.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you don't have any apprehension at all?
No.
And
No.
Therese doesn't?
No.
Oh.
No, we've been through hell with the sword, so it's making itself quite at home in us. So we're bring it.
Walking around with arrows in you?
Yeah, pincushion. So no, it's
Just pulling it out at
best to
time.
face the truth. Yeah. If you have a reaction, have a reaction. Get over it.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
It's generally not you anyway. It's what's in you.
The reason I'm asking is because Victoria had apprehension
Yeah.
and about this, and we had a very interesting discussion after it.
Yeah.
So do you know what apprehension means? Can you whiz that up in the dictionary, Therese?
Nervous. Nervous.
Yeah, that's part of it.
Afraid.
Yep.
Sheepish.
It was a negative thing, thinking.
Anxiety or fear that something bad or unpleasant will happen.
I'm anxious.
Yes.
You're giving me anxiety, Christopher.
Yeah, I've been anxious all day about it.
Because I didn't tell her what the topic's about,
Anxious.
and she started investigating.
Oh.
Trying
wanting
to guess
know.
Why
what
bother? Just be excited.
Yeah, but then I think, well, yeah, is this going to be another clanger? Another sword? So then I try and protect myself from the sword and not sort of want to go there, and
Yeah.
all these wrong thoughts come in. So I had to deal with the wrong thinking again.
Yeah.
Wrong thinking.
That's wrong thinking.
Yeah. So
Worry, uneasiness,
Yeah, keep
unease,
going.
yeah.
There's a
nervousness,
bit there.
misgiving, disquiet, concern, restlessness, nerves, tension, etc., etc., etc. Terror, horror, shock, fear, dread, panic.
Panic. Gonna have a panic attack.
The willies.
Driving me up the willies, mate.
Yeah, the willies.
It's giving me the willies, the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah.
Heebie-jeebies.
I
It says that,
noticed
the
on
heebie-jeebies.
I noticed on the phone you were stalling to see if I'd tell you what it was about. You went quiet,
Yeah.
testing
Of
to
course.
see if there's any more coming.
Yeah, of course. No, there won't be.
Eh?
Of course.
Because I know when Chris brings a message, it's always to move us on, to shift us, to keep it. It's always very
Yeah.
powerful, and it hits me. So I was trying to figure out how am I going to react to this, and just going through, being anxious about it, which I realised I don't have to be. That's That's not
After we talk.
after we talked, yeah.
Mm.
That's not the way to receive something. It's you've got to be open. So
Mm.
Oh, there's another understanding for apprehension too. It's understanding.
yeah,
So it says his first apprehension of such large issues.
well,
So his first understanding of it. There you go.
yeah,
Mm. Yeah.
So, being real about the whole situation,
Mm.
I said to, this is the interesting conversation, I said to Victoria, what are you afraid of?
Mm.
Can you, eh?
What was her answer?
Oh, I can ask her.
What was your answer, Victor?
I was afraid of the sword. Afraid of the of being hit with something that was going to manifest.
I don't want my buttons to pop. Shut up. I'm holding it all in.
Rule number 3.
He's apprehensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in that way, it's not the right way to receive teaching. So I should have a better way. This is what I came to. Have a better way of being taught.
Mm.
Have a better reaction, openness to being taught.
So is that what you said to my question? What are you afraid of?
What am I afraid of?
She said the sword.
Yeah,
What about the sword?
that I'm
Is it-
going to manifest, that I'm going to, there's things in me still that I know, because I have the spirit in my flesh still, and I know that there's something might come out.
So you're afraid that the audience will see it? Is that what it is, Victor?
No, you and Mark and
The audience?
you're the audience. That people will
She's
see
still
me.
apprehensive, isn't she? You can feel it.
So
Yeah,
whatever happens, happens.
that's it. So,
So
Okay,
what
good.
is it she's afraid of?
The audience.
Hmm.
The sword bringing out what she's still holding.
Yeah, well, it always manifests, doesn't it, whatever's in there?
yeah,
But that's a thing, but what's she actually afraid of?
the spirit in my flesh.
What's it saying?
And it's
To her.
it's saying to me, you can't, you won't.
You're going to be wrong.
Yeah, you.
You're going to look
What he's
stupid.
saying is not true. Don't believe it.
You're going to look like an idiot.
Yeah, no, I know it's true what's going to come, because he's proven that. But I know that. But the thing
Instead
is,
of talking about it, what did he say to you?
he said to me, don't. Oh, the things that the Spirit told me was, you just you don't have to get upset, because it's going to come through and it's going to hit you and it's going to make you feel bad and you'll feel down and you'll get all upset. All these negative things came in my mind, and I didn't arrest that. Things like that.
So what's Victoria doing?
Protecting
Protecting what?
spirit in her,
Yeah.
Why is she doing that?
because there's things that she doesn't want to let go
Usually you don't know when it comes at you, do you?
No.
When it manifests,
of. No.
you don't know, but
Protecting myself against what's going to happen.
trying to protect who?
Myself, the self,
no.
the spirit in my flesh.
That's what you're trying to protect.
Yeah,
Because it's saying to you, don't give in.
yeah,
Don't tell the truth.
yeah.
it's still
controlling me.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and she's talking to it, not realising that she's talking to a spirit in a flesh. She's not taking the thoughts and checking it with the word to see who's talking to her. She's just letting it pass through. And so she's had apprehension from the abuse it gives her. Where does it come to? The spirit
Mind.
comes to the mind. Why doesn't it go to the heart?
Because Yahusha's in there.
There. Yeah.
So it only has one realm in the body, that's in.
Mind.
Mind.
So there's Victoria having this comprehension, conversation, and being apprehensive about me bringing something that's going to have a sword together. What chance do I have as a person?
Yeah, none.
None. Because I've already planned it.
What are you thinking? You're thinking? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I understand that. I hear
Yeah.
those thoughts. I heard those thoughts, I should say. But I just went, stuff it. And how many blow-ups have I had on camera now? Bring it. You know, everyone knows what I am. Good days, bad days. Good mark and abusive mark. Everyone knows.
Well, let's hope you're going to get to the place where you have good days.
Let's hope it's a good one.
Yeah,
So,
you have good days.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
all a matter of just checking your thoughts, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Because that's how Yahusha defeated.
Satan. Threw the word back in his face.
Back in his face.
Yeah.
And that defeats him, so he will go.
Yeah.
So what do you think of Victoria not knowing she's actually having a conversation with the spirit in her flesh and it's abusing her and antagonising her? What do you think of that situation? She's not aware.
Yeah, I can completely relate
Why?
because I walk around having it as well and I don't check it all the time. And it's completely disgusting to assume that it's complete abuse. It's running you down, it's running every single person in your life down, it's pegging you against everybody so that you'll just be some wounded dog in the corner that no one's allowed to touch. Like
What do you think about the fact that she doesn't know that's going on?
I think she knows.
Till today.
It's training, it's self-control. I think she knows.
She hasn't really
Practice it.
known till today. We
Not
talked
in
about
that
it.
content, no
Yeah, okay.
context. No.
No, we all think it's us. That's the problem.
Well, if you're walking along just thinking thoughts and then those thoughts start making you feel pretty angry or bad, that's when I generally go, hang on, whereas I should have done it half an hour ago.
Yeah, but you're
Didn't. I was listening.
interested. It
You just-
draws you.
You're just used to having them come through you, and you got to stop. Yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, I
Knowing.
realise
Go on.
when I start to have a conversation inside my head, I'm realising that's it. Where I didn't before. And that conversation, I should recognise. I will now, but I've heard it, spoken it, everything, but doing it.
And what do you think the only thing that can disperse is?
The word,
Yeah, rest it.
resting the thought.
The power of the word.
And your decision about it, yay or nay.
Yeah.
So how many people do you think realise this?
Nobody, because nobody teaches it. No.
And
Time is short. They're all controlled.
so I want you to dwell on this understand, because we're going to come to the Word now, and what happens when you come to the Word.
It's like a mirror,
It's a mirror.
like a sword.
Yeah, but what's the spirit in the flesh going to do when you actually bring your carcass to the Word and start ingesting it?
Oh, it hates the word. Yeah.
Or he can be tricky and love it,
He can
pretend.
go, oh yeah, maybe you could do that. Yeah, no you can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that. Watch.
I already do that. That's for someone else. Yeah. Yeah.
So as we go through these scriptures,
Yeah.
keep in mind you're coming to the word of truth, the language of truth. So let's start. Who wants to start?
Where are we going?
We've got John 10,
John 10.
and we've got a third to read, each one of you. How do you feel about the topic so far coming into this?
Yeah, good.
Coming into this,
Yeah.
we know what the issue is for everyone in the world. This is the issue. And we look at all the religions that have set themselves up to be an interpreter of the word,
Yeah.
and yet none of them are teaching this. What chance do people really have?
Yeah, none.
John chapter 10. Truly, truly, I say to you, he who does not enter through the door, through the gate, into the sheepfold, but...
Excuse me.
Yeah.
If you feel like you want to stop and talk, you feel inspired, do it. The word gate, door and portal are the same word in Hebrew. We looked up portal and it means gate or door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
So keep this in mind as we go through it.
Yeah.
Start again.
Truly, truly, I say to you, he who does not enter through the gate into the sheepfold, but climbs up by another way, that one is a thief and a robber. But he who enters through the gate is the shepherd of the sheep. The doorkeeper opens for him, and the sheep hear his voice, and he calls his own sheep by name and leads them out. And when he has brought out his own sheep, he goes before them, and the sheep follow him, because they know his voice. And they shall by no means follow a stranger, but shall flee from him, because they do not know the voice of the stranger. Yahusha used this figure of speech, but they did not know what he had been saying to them. Yahusha therefore said to them again, Truly, truly, I say to you, I am the door of the sheep. All who came before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not hear them. I am the door. Whoever enters through me, he shall be delivered, and shall go in, and shall go out, and find pasture. The thief does not come except to steal, and to kill, and to destroy. I have come that they might possess life, and that they might possess it beyond measure. It says have more abundantly, doesn't it? I am the good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. But the hireling, and not being a shepherd, one who does not own the sheep, sees the wolf coming and leaves the sheep and flees. And the wolf snatches the sheep and scatters them. Now the hireling flees because he is a hireling and is not concerned about the sheep. I am the good shepherd, and I know mine, and mine know me.
So anything there you want to say?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we'll say it.
Yeah. Oh, about the...
If you feel inspired, let's have it.
Well, when you put the context in there about the door and the gate and the portal being the same thing, knowing that Yahusha said he's the narrow gate, enter at the narrow gate, it just makes it very personal. You hear the voice of the shepherd and you follow the shepherd, and the sheep won't follow any other voice, won't follow a hireling. Talking about the one that will abandon you or just leave you exposed to wolves, whether that be a man-made teacher or the spirit in your flesh, who wants to leave you exposed.
Yeah.
Of course, he lays down his life for the sheep, so he owns the sheep. Yeah, lots of amazing
What's
stuff.
the first verse say?
I am the door.
And?
He who does not enter the door into the sheepfold but climbs up by another way, the one is a thief and a robber. So you've got to go in the door, you can't get around it any other way. Yeah.
And? Next verse.
But he who enters by the door is the shepherd of the sheep.
And?
That's Yahusha.
To him the gatekeeper opens. The sheep hear his voice, and he calls his own sheep by name and leads them out.
It's very personal.
Leads them out to where?
In and out and to find pasture.
When he has brought out his own, he goes before them, and
This
the sheep
is-
follow him, for they know his voice. A stranger will not follow, but they will flee from him, for they do not know the voice of the stranger. This figure of speech they did not understand. He's basically saying that they will follow me, and later on it says he will save. He will be saved and will go in and out and find pasture. So in finding pasture, you find the peace.
So you were very excited about that to continue. So what do you get from it? Just in your words, like.
Well, without knowing Yahusha is the door, you won't be able to enter. It's that simple. If you can't accept that Yahusha is Alahim, he is the door to everything, to eternity.
Yeah.
Without that, you've got nothing.
Well, what struck me about that, why I turned to this, was about going in and out and finding pasture. What does that verse say?
It says, I am the door. If anyone enters by me, he will be saved, and will go in and out and find pasture.
Now, just looking at that and condensing it in your mind, like that really affected me.
It's like it's a vein. You go in through the sheep gate, and you come out of you go in through the vein, and you come out of the vein into the pasture, wilderness.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's, yeah. Because it says
So
go
that
in
really
and go out.
struck me.
Yeah.
And especially him saying, I'm the door. The other one, other interpretation says, I am the gate. So that's interesting. I don't think any of them say, I am the portal.
No.
But it means the same.
Yeah.
Gate, door and portal is the same.
Yeah, because he's the only connection between dimensions.
Yeah.
To go completely cosmic. Yeah. His blood brought the dimensions together.
Who's next?
Me. I'll start from 14 so that it's all in the
Yep.
context. I am the good shepherd. I know my own, and my own know me.
That's
Just as-
personal, isn't it?
It is. Just as the Father knows me, and I know the Father, and I lay down my life for the sheep.
The
And
Father's coming in.
And I have other sheep that are not in this fold. I must bring them also, and they will listen to my voice. So there will be one flock, one shepherd.
Very interesting.
Whoa. Whoa.
That's interesting.
This is a very big point that we're going to go into later.
For this reason, the Father loves me, because I lay down my life that I may take it up again. No one takes it from me, but I lay it down of my own accord. I have authority to lay it down, and I have authority to take it up again. This charge I have received from my Father. There was again a division among the Jews because of these words. Many of them said, "He has a demon and is insane. Why listen to him?" Others said, "These are not words of one who is oppressed by a demon. Can a demon open the eyes of the blind?"
So if you tell the truth, you're going to be accused of being a demon. How reverse madness is that?
Yep.
Very much so.
You know, if you tell the truth, you're going to be accused of being a demon.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what happens literally, isn't it?
Yeah.
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 At the time of the feast of dedication took place at Jerusalem. It was winter, and Yahusha was walking in the temple, in the
Courts of Solomon.
courts of Solomon. There's a different word here. So the Jews gathered around him and said to him, "How long will you keep us in suspense? If you are the Messiah, tell us plainly." Yahusha answered them, "I told you, and you do not believe.
Very clever, this.
The works that I do in my Father's name bear witness about me. But you do not believe because you are not amongst my sheep. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me."
"And I give them everlasting life, and they shall by no means ever perish, and no one shall snatch them out of my hand. My Father who has
What
given
do you
them..."
think of that?
Yeah, no one can.
My sheep. What has the Spirit in our flesh told us about that?
You're not really.
You're not.
He's left you.
You're not chosen.
He's not chosen.
You're not righteous.
Yeah.
You never make it.
So what does Yahusha say?
No one can snatch them away from my hand.
How does that make you feel?
Great.
Yeah, amazing.
He said he won't put more pressure on than you can handle.
Yeah.
Hasn't that pressure come?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But you won't lose.
Amazing. My Father who has given them to me is greater than all, and no one is able to snatch them out of my Father's hand. I and my Father are one.
Yay.
Again the Jews picked up stones to stone him. Yahusha answered them, "Many good works I've shown you from my Father. Because of which of these works do you stone me?" The Jews answered him, saying, We do not stone you for a good work, but for blasphemy, and because you, being a man, make yourself Alahim. How dare he? Yahusha answered them, Is it not written in your own Torah, I said, you are Alahim? If he called them Alahim, to whom the word of Alahim came, and it is impossible for the scriptures to be broken, do you say of him whom the Father set apart and sent into the world, you are blaspheming? Just because I said, I am the son of Alahim? If I do not do the works of my Father, if I do not do the works of my Father, do not believe me. But if I do, though you do not believe me, believe the works, so that you know and believe that the Father is in me, and I in him. Therefore they were seeking again to seize him, but he went forth out of their hand and went once more to the other side of the garden, to the Jordan, to the place where John was immersing at first. And there he stayed. And many came to him and said, John indeed did no sign, yet all that John said about this man was true, and many believed in him there.
So what do you guys think of that last bit? Or anything you want to talk about?
Yeah, they couldn't wrap their minds, well, they just thought it was outright blasphemy, because Alahim is one, and Alahim was not allowed to have an image, certainly not of a man. So him coming along saying, pretty much, you're making yourself Alahim, they said, because you're making yourself the same as the Father. So by their own law, what Yahusha did was impossible.
Well, he declared in it, I and the Father are one.
Yeah.
And they couldn't handle that.
No.
Because he's basically saying, well, I am him.
So what's he revealing to us in that?
That he is Alahim.
Alahim.
Yeah.
And the Jews obviously got the message, because they said, you're trying to make yourself Alahim.
Well, they knew.
And the natural response for that blasphemy, according to Torah, is throw him in a pit and stone him.
They couldn't catch him in his words, could they?
Yeah. No. And he's saying...
and he answered them.
Yeah, using all the old stuff to show him, well, you believe that, but it's talking about me. And yeah.
Exactly what you were talking about with Passover.
Yeah, Passover. Yeah. Yeah. They couldn't see past their own shadows. So still can't. So.
They think that they believe that they are right in everything.
Yeah.
No matter what is written.
Well, we've met them.
Yeah.
We've all met them.
Yeah.
And he's basically saying, well, you can't accuse me of something that I am not, and that I am not doing. Therefore, if it's written in your law that this is truth, then what are you stoning me for? What are you punishing me for? It's in your words.
So why can you see that and others can't? Teachers. Teachers of huge churches. Why can you see that and they can't? My sheep hear.
Yeah, because as he says, my sheep hear my voice and follow me.
Yeah.
And if I'm a you, and you're a you, and you're a ram, and you're a ram, all right?
Okay, then.
So, he tells us we can hear his voice if we are his chosen people. And we hear his voice.
How do they feel about us hearing his voice out there?
They call it lies. That's rubbish. You can't hear his voice. You're not part
You haven't been trained.
of Israel.
Seething hatred.
Like a bloodline.
You're a pagan Gentile.
Yeah.
You're not Jewish.
Well, they're not letting all the people know this, are they?
No.
They're not fair to them.
No.
They keep them in bondage.
Yeah.
Oh, they do it on purpose so that they can make money out of it.
That's right.
It's that simple.
And have power.
That's all they want is as much money as they can get in their coffers, and it doesn't matter about how that person's feeling. You just keep paying.
Yeah.
The way you're feeling is wrong, but it doesn't matter. You just keep paying. If you keep saying what we tell you to say, you'll be fine. You'll be delivered. And it's like, no, you won't. Not at all. So it's very disappointing when you see somebody who thinks that, in the church, oh yeah, they're helping me. It's like having been through a church system and so forth. They're not there to help you. They're there to put you down and keep you in bondage. And it's that simple. And unfortunately, a a lot of people have been brainwashed to believe.
So what does it make you think now you've got a certain amount of time, couple of years left before he appears? What does it make you think about those people, friends that you've known and loved, and Yahusha's taken you off, you've followed his voice, and you've gone in?
I feel sorry for them.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you can say stuff to them, but their minds aren't open, their eyes aren't open. They're not willing.
It's a sadness, isn't it?
Yeah.
That we have to live,
Yeah.
seeing those that we've loved,
Absolutely.
and they run us down.
Yeah.
They don't want to
I
know.
think you're mad.
And all we were ever really trying to attain and give and share was just love.
Mm.
And the battle we've had just in ourselves, they don't see that, and they have a false impression of what we're all trying to do. Now that is sad.
It's a sadness you carry, but
Yeah.
Yahusha said, keep going,
Yeah.
Yeah.
follow my voice,
Yeah.
you know. So how do we follow his voice?
Thought by thought, through his word, spirit, the word.
Check every thought again with the word,
Yeah.
so you know you're walking on the word, you're following him.
Mm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Truth.
Mm.
Very interesting, eh?
Very
Yeah.
good.
Looking at the word, facing who Yahusha is, that he's Alahim.
Yeah.
And he has set forth, he said, I will write on your hearts my laws and statutes.
Mm.
That's what
Yeah.
Yahusha said. It was prophesied that a Messiah would come and say this.
Yeah.
So in the old covenant, that prophet prophesied that Yahusha would come and say this. So which laws is Yahusha talking about? And statutes.
He's talking about
So-
his two royal laws of love
Mm.
Yeah.
and the fruits of righteousness.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And as the assembly was going through a transition into this, it never got to be said because Daniel was told to close the book up and that this knowledge was for the end times, the
Yeah.
last days which we're in now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want you to get a vision in your mind. I was given a vision, all right? So I just want you to see the vision that Yahusha gave me. And it happened in this room with you. He said that history is like a wormhole. The scripture is like a wormhole. So we have the beginning from Adam and Eve, and we have the end in Revelation. That's to come yet. Some of the revelation is to come, some of it's already happened. So can you imagine a wormhole sucks everything into it. It sucks it all into it. Like, so if we look at the history
Yeah.
of Scripture, the history of our sin, Yahusha is sucking all that history, everything he planned, all those nations that have been destroyed because of their idolatry. Everything's being sucked into this wormhole. And he said the wormhole is the vein.
Yeah. That's so good.
So if you can imagine that, everything's being drawn in these last couple of years. Everything is being drawn. He said heaven and earth will pass away, but what's going to remain?
His
My
word.
word.
So that's why we need to check
The
our
word.
thoughts. Because everything is going to be drawn into
The vein.
2 resurrections.
Yeah.
And the most important thing at the moment is what? In the whole universe, according to you guys, what's the most important thing?
Getting delivered from the spirit in my flesh. Because as we discovered, it's very personal.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with race, culture, bloodline, creed, banner, labels, nothing. It's just between you and Yahusha. Will you be faithful to the word in that thought, in that deed, in that behaviour, in that habit? Will you be faithful to the word? That's all. If I can attain that 100% in the next 2 years, then I'm through. That's all I've got to do.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so much in a day to stop you, some from without, but a lot from within, to stop that. I can't see anything, well, not in my life, that's more important than that. Being delivered. That's what he came to do. He did his part, and I have to prove myself. Yeah.
Almost.
That's one of the most important things, but the other one is, and I have other sheep that are not in this fold. That's the most important thing, is to reach those other sheep for him.
Yeah.
Good. That's a true evangelistica.
Mm.
Yeah.
Evangelistica.
Do you have...
I think, well, the vein is the most important thing to get out there, to let people know about, but also inside myself, to arrest those thoughts and check them, and to overcome, to go into, to be prepared for his coming. So through that deliverance, I'm getting prepared and believing in his deliverance and having it, showing others.
Well, you're all pretty close. Breaking everything right down to a nutshell, the most important thing in the world at the moment, in the universe, to you guys, should be yourself and getting prepared.
Absolutely.
That should be the most important first thing to think, is this really going to happen? Am I in this? Am I out of it?
It's really going to
What?
happen.
So you are the most important thing, because when you look at the sheep, his sheep are the most important thing, aren't they?
Yeah.
No one can snatch you away. So that's it. You've got to think about yourself getting right,
Yeah.
coming into righteous behaviour, having the change. I can't think of anything that's more important to a person than knowing the time is so close to get ready, get organised. Once you've passed that test and you got through and you're there, well, then you can receive from him and do and say what he wants with reassurance. So you want to think about yourselves more than what you do.
Yeah.
And thinking about Victoria's apprehension.
Yeah, why are we apprehensive about this one, Victor?
I was listening to unclean thoughts.
Wrong thoughts.
Wrong thoughts, and I didn't check it. So obviously Yahusha had something wonderful, and those demons didn't like it because it's powerful, and they wanted to snatch that away before I even got it.
Yeah,
And that's how hideous they are. That's how they're controlling, how revolting they are. And I haven't hated them enough, haven't hated that control enough to get over it, to stop it. That's where I've got to go in my head, in my mind, wash my whole mind with his word. Check it with the word, and I don't do that all the time.
So how would you like to be living in this house with that? Feeling that about you? Apprehensive about I'm going to stab her and hurt her. What's she missing? What's the point?
The word is a sword. You have to let it happen.
Well, she's missing that it's not you.
Eh?
She's missing that it's not you. You're not planning stuff to stab her with.
No.
That's the word.
When it comes, I'll just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The discipline and self-control I've seen you achieve is
Have you had that apprehension?
phenomenal. Oh, lots of times. Yeah. Absolutely.
So you have thought it's...
You. Yeah.
Can you explain that to the brothers and sisters, why it's not me?
Because I've tested you day in and day out for years. I've tested because 30 years ago you were a different person. You were onto everything. You were picking out everything. You were, really
Hideous.
controlling, manipulating, cunning, bitchy, nasty, everything. Of course, everything was under the banner of trying to help and love, of course. That's always been your motivation. But I guess what was in you, the spirit that was in your flesh. So, of course, if you come at me with, I don't think that's right, Mark, or that's right, or you do it in a funny way or a humorous way, I'm like, he's trying to get me again. But and if I go out there and I'm thinking bad things about anybody, but especially you, because of the anointing, and I come in with that apprehension and bounce it off you, and you're just, hey, how are you, mate? I'm thinking, he's nothing like what I've been listening to.
Because I've had a...
Because you've had a change.
Yeah.
And I haven't had, not a little one.
I don't remember that person.
No.
I know it was me. It's like someone I knew.
Yeah.
But I don't even feel like that here.
No.
The change.
No.
What I was doing then because of what was in my flesh.
Yeah.
So when I hear, I just say it or do it. There's lots of scripture in me. I've studied for years and years, 47 years at least. There's lots of scripture in me. So when I hear, it comes into an application of life and knowing the word, you're in that flow, that fluidity of truth, and it's a language. We all have to come into that language. And when you think about
The time.
Yeah.
think about yourselves, guys. Now, can we have a break? And we'll come back with the next exciting version of it, brothers and sisters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go deeper again.
Yeah, stop it. We'll stop it.
Well, that was exciting, hon.
Yeah.
Nothing how I was feeling.